Celebrating 15 years of this beloved foolery.
Who decided that one little trash bag was going to be enough to catch all this urine?
And Jim's a big guy, too.
Well, here I go, because I'm not holding it any longer.
Hey,
baby.
You're moving the bag.
Yeah.
There he goes. Okay, cut it off. Get on the bag. Get on the bag.
Oh, my gosh.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.
Wow, you're really off beat there, buddy. We suck.
Welcome to fifth grade music class. Okay, I saw this last week. By the way, we're Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. I don't know, whatever Jeremy usually says. I saw this last week, and I'm so confused. Okay, so the writers were on strike, and then last week, SAG-AFTRA, which is the Screen Actors Guild, and they are the ones that the union that looks after the actors. They're currently on strike. I didn't know this.
I don't pay attention to any of this. So
the writers were on strike. Now the actors are on strike, or they were on strike continuously or contiguously, I guess, together. And SAG-AFTRA came out last week and they said, "Hey, listen, when you're on the picket line, don't dress up as popular Halloween characters, because a lot of those popular Halloween characters are, the studios benefit from those, like people like Barbie or Shrek or whatever."
You mean like they didn't want them to go buy a costume because some of the money from the costume would get back to the studio that they're striking against? I see.
Yeah.
I see.
And I thought that was a bit strange, but whatever. And also I thought it was a bit strange that the actors are striking, because we didn't hear about the actors strike until now that the writer's strike is over, when I would think that the actor's strike would be the one that you'd see more attention paid to, because they're the ones in front of the screen. The writers are the ones behind the screen, but whatever.
Yeah.
In response to that request from SAG-AFTRA, Ryan Reynolds, who I think is one of the funniest actors out there, he is so funny. He says, "Oh, this will be fun. I look forward to screaming scab at my 8-year-old all night. She's not in the union, but she needs to learn, damn it."
She's wearing a Barbie costume.
Well,
it's good to know that he can laugh at the situation that he's in. And, it's like, God, these actors, and I mean, not all of them, right? There's some that are struggling, but God, that's part of the game. When you get into this business, you know that you have to fight and claw to try to get somewhere where you have an opportunity to become something, and then you could be rich and famous. But in the meantime, you're an extra, you're serving these stupid little roles, whatever. I guess those are the people that are really deserving of the strike, or deserving of more money. I don't know. I don't really care. Because, it's like, what, dude, come on, man, pull up your big boy pants and go to work. Listen, if you're not getting paid what you want, quit your job and go do something else. If it's your life's passion, pick up a second or third job. This is the decisions you make. Nobody's making you do
How
this.
awesome would that be? You're going to Starbucks and there's like, Mandy Moore serving up your latte.
Oh, what was this show she was just on? It's All About Us, or something about us?
This is us.
This is us.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
I guess that wasn't. I guess you should have tried to get more money out of that contract. Huh?
Oh, that would actually be so annoying, because in between lattes, she'd have to stop down and
sing a song.
Her contract with Starbucks would mandate that she at least gets 3 singing appearances per 8-hour shift.
What would she sing? Would she sing about lattes, or would she actually just sing some random song?
Oh, it would just be cover songs, right? It would just be cover songs, or her songs. I guess she had a singing career too.
Yes, she did for a little bit. Yeah, my wife watches everything that she's in. She's a big fan, I guess. Like, she's on Netflix. One of the best. We're watching it. She's like, "Hey, I got a movie." I'm like, "Oh, Mandy Moore's in it." And then I'm like, "How long is it going to be before she starts belting out a tune?" And it's
like we make fun of it because it's so clunky the way, like, especially with This Is Us, how they had to work her contract demands into the script. It was like
that she was a lounge singer.
No, she's a lounge singer now. Okay, whatever. But I'll tell you this: one of my daughter's favorite princess movies is Tangled, and it's about Rapunzel, and she voices Rapunzel in it, and she sings the songs in it, and she does a really good job, like in a studio and stuff like that. I mean, the songs are great. The songs are good.
She's a good singer.
Anyways.
She's a good singer.
Yeah.
I'm glad This Is Us is over. It was really getting weird as they got so old, and I don't know why. It was turning me off.
Right?
Yeah.
It got political at the end.
It did? Oh, well, because everything does, right? It's on NBC. It's definitely going to toe that company line. Okay, show. Big show last night at Vita Robles. Hope everybody's not too hurting today. We've got more tickets to go to Vita Robles. Daryl Hall with his house band will be there. Later this morning, if you know the show, we'll give you a pair of tickets to go to that show. Todd Rundgren is going to open up the show. And it's Daryl Hall from Hall & Oates and his house band. So that's
and play with him, I guess. I guess Todd Rundgren is going to be there jamming with
that's cool.
Daryl.
Yeah.
The Daryl.
You ever see the show on Access TV where it would be Daryl's house and they come over?
I've never seen it, and that's what this whole thing's based on, right? Yeah. I mean, it's like he invites people over to sing songs and stuff like that, and that's what this show's about. I mean, I know a lot of people are excited about this show.
9:40 today, if you know the show. You want to buy tickets to this show? Go to kzoz.com.
Spending 4 hours in a box together every day can make you say crazy things.
Don't go crazy.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
The hell's an expert?
Expert?
Yeah. According to experts. I ran across this thing. This is 5 worst health mistakes. This is like one of those ads that are down in the corner of the article that you're reading. It says 5 worst health mistakes you make according to experts. And I'm sure I'm being internet targeted on this one because of things that we've talked about before and things I've researched because of this job. This makes me a target for all kinds of other things. And this is something called Your Tango, and it's on the health and wellness section of Your Tango, a website that specializes in zodiac horoscope. I just did the Jeremy on that one. I actually read the word for what it was. Entertainment and news, family, self, health and wellness, heartbreak, expert advice. So it's like geared towards women is why I'm doing this. But it says that the 5 worst things that I could be doing, worst health mistakes I could be making. How many of the 5 do you think apply to me?
I'm going to say 3.
Would it shock you if I said 5?
Well, now I'm starting to sweat over here a little bit.
Right, because we do this pretty much the same thing. Sitting too much is number 1.
Okay, okay, here we go. Hold on. If you hear a bell, that means I do the same.
She says that you should, or the physical therapist who's the expert in this part of the story says that you should set reminders on your phone for every 30 to 60 minutes to get up and move around. Have you ever seen that thing that like it's some kind of, I don't know, HR memo that we get that says that you're supposed to actually be moving for 10 minutes of every hour that you're working? And like, how the hell do you do that when you sit down at a computer all day long?
You move your feet. You do a little moving your feet.
I saw this commercial for, I watch a lot of conservative news outlets, so I saw this commercial on one of the conservative news outlets that was a thing for keeping your circulation up. And it was literally this U-shaped thing that had pedals that moved back and forth like this, and you turned it on, and you put your feet on it, and it moves your feet for you. You don't even have to move your feet.
This is for old people that can't get around, but can still get some exercise.
If I ever buy that, please just do me in. Just take me out in your side by side and leave me in the Idaho forest.
Well, then you'd get some exercise trying to get out.
Yeah, exactly.
And you'd either die or you'd be better off for it.
This number 2, I know you do. I know I tried. I was good for about 2 weeks, and for some reason I've gone off of it. Not drinking enough water. Not drinking enough water. And people say that water is life, and that's what
I could drink more water.
Experts say.
Yeah, I used to drink a lot of water, but now I just, for some reason, and I'm right here, I could totally do it. I just drink more coffee, and now I drink a lot of iced tea, which has water in it.
There's a lot of water products out there right now. Is there caffeine water that will give you the same amount of caffeine that
I bet you there is.
That coffee gets you?
Yeah, I bet you that's something that you could find in a store.
Because
somewhere.
the only reason why I choose coffee over water is because of the caffeine.
Oh, really? I like the way it tastes. Yeah,
Caffeine water
there's
packets.
Smart Energy water. You've heard of Smart Water. There's something called, and then you can go to Amazon and
Water Joe?
caffeine water.
It's expensive though.
Oh, I'm
It's
sure
kind of
there's-
expensive.
yeah, Water Joe. Here's another one. Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of expensive. I don't want to spend that much on water.
How much?
It's free.
How much is caffeine water? Well, then, see, what I used to always do is I would have a cup of coffee and I'd have a bigger cup of water. And my goal
Great
was to
value.
drink-
Great value. Is Great Value the generic brand at Walmart?
I believe it is.
Great,
Yes. Yeah.
Great Value caffeine water packets. You can get caffeine water packets. Is this the caffeine ones? Sugar-free energy drink mix. Oh, yeah, 60 milligrams of caffeine. How much is in a cup of coffee?
I have no idea. Let's see. How much caffeine?
When I type in HO, it comes 95 milligrams. So I need to drink like 1.5 of those to every cup of coffee that I would drink. That would add up over time.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry to digress here. The other bad, biting my nails. I've done this since the beginning of time. Why is this a bad one though?
Oh, because
It
there's
could
bacteria in your nails or something.
Yeah, it could damage your teeth too, and expose us to a lot more germs because we're not always constantly washing our hands. Mindless eating.
Yeah, that's probably when you sit down and you start watching TV, and then you're like, oh, I'm going to get a snack. Yeah, guilty. I'm guilty of all these so far. What are we at,
That's
number
my
4?
favorite kind of eating, though. I'd rather do that
Yes.
than actually sit down to meals.
Yeah.
The problem is, I think if I could just be a mindless eater and not a meal, like, it's breakfast time, got to eat breakfast, got to eat lunch, got to eat dinner. If I could just be a mindless eater, I think I'd be a lot better off and never eat a meal again for the rest of my life. Just eat when you're hungry, eat when you're sure, indulge every once in a while, because it's when you add the meals on top of it. Now, I'm not a doctor, so don't listen to me, and I fall into the category of all 5 of these things. But don't you think that if you just mindlessly ate and you did not sit down to meals, that you would be better off than if you mindlessly ate?
No, because the
and
problem
then
is every time I do this,
also sat down.
I'm watching a TV
meals?
show and I'll grab a bag of pretzels, and next thing I know, the damn thing's half gone, and I'm like,
Don't.
ugh. But if you
Don't
actually
eat that day.
if you just focus on I think standing and eating is the best diet. You walk up to like your island or your counter or whatever in the kitchen, you have your food there, you eat it. Trust me,
See,
you're going to be bored
you
with
can
it
do
and
this.
want to move on. And that's probably the best way to like not overeat.
You can do this. I cannot. I've tried. I need to either raise my cabinet or my kitchen island, or I need to kneel down while I do it, because you're so far away from, like my wife, she eats every meal standing up, every single meal standing up. I've tried to stand next to her and do it, and I've got so much further to go with the fork, and I'm dropping stuff everywhere. And she's like, "Why don't you just stand up and eat?" I can't stand up and eat because I have to be close to the table. I'm too far away.
You know what you need to do? You need to get yourself some phone books and stack them up on the counter and put your plate on that. That'll be closer to your mouth.
Oh, good idea. But where does anybody find a phone book in 2023?
You're gonna have to figure something out.
I could go get all my laptops that we don't use in the house that have
Get an
gone to the
Amazon box.
wayside.
I know you get Amazon. I mean, save
okay.
your Amazon
There
box,
you
stock it up, and stack it up, and then there you go.
Number 5 is not getting enough sleep.
Yeah.
It's for your mental health. I'm fine. I get about 6 hours of sleep a night. I think that's fine.
Yeah, I was like, restless
plenty.
sleep can lead to heart disease. I mean, everything leads to heart disease, right? Everything's trying to kill our hearts. So, I guess you just do your best.
Watching TV or surfing the web until you feel sleepy can disrupt the secretion of natural sleep hormone called melatonin, leaving you to a night of restless sleeping. That's what the Sujay Kansagara says.
Really?
He works for a mattress firm, by the way.
I like to cruise Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, before I go to bed. I have the
That
phone
kind
there.
of stuff makes me tired.
Then I look at stuff and I'm like, oh,
it's like mindless.
Yeah.
Let me look at some mindless stuff. I'll get tired and I'll fall asleep.
You ever fall asleep while doing that, and then you wake up and your phone's just sitting there on your chest because you fell asleep?
or you're still holding it in your hand. What's happened?
Well,
I'm like,
those
why
are
the hell
5
am I
things
holding-
that I'm guilty of as well.
Except for the biting your nails. You don't do that.
Coming up,
You don't bite your nails.
the Tyson Food Corporation is getting into a new protein. You're familiar with Tyson Meats, right? They make just about every kind of lunch meat and all kinds of different things.
Great. Is this going to be like an alternative way of eating?
Right now, it's just for pets, but they're planning on working it into their human food division. I'll tell you what the new protein is when we come back.
Careful. You don't want to learn from this. Jeff and Jeremy in the morning on 93.3 KZOZ.
So Britney Spears came out over the weekend, and this is another, attempt to try to sell books because books are coming out on the shelves about her.
Oh, what is she doing? Like a memoir or something, or a
interested? Yeah,
biography or something. Okay.
yeah. So now, people were like, "Hey, why do you post so many naked pictures on Instagram?" And she says that if she'd been, so she takes the pictures herself, and people are like, "Oh, shouldn't have taken that picture. That seems like a desperate plea for attention, right?" And she's like, "No." She gives reasoning for it. She's like, if I would have pictures that were taken by other people, people would, think that this is like the real me when I'm taking pictures of myself as opposed to the fake me when I'm doing this." So she does it, she says she gets a lot of joy from posing the way she does.
Do you have a fake me as well? Or do you just, do you have a real me and a fake me? Or do you just have
I don't.
You don't have a fake me?
I can't manage. It's too much to manage, man.
Yeah, we got enough going on.
Me.
The hell's a fake me? What does that mean? Like
I don't know. I have
a fake me. Okay.
I ran across something very early on Saturday morning. Okay. So what happens when we go do things like Disneyland is my job is to get up earlier than everybody else, go get me and my wife coffee before it gets crazy, right? So I'll go to get coffee. I jump in the car and we're in Los Angeles. So I turn on the radio station. I want to see what's on the radio station. That song, what was the song? Her big song. The
Britney
biggest song.
Spears, Hit Me Baby One More Time?
No, another one. It's on the radio. Oops, I did it again.
Oh, okay.
Oops, I did it again.
Okay, sorry.
Oops, I did it again. Is on the radio, and I'm listening to it, and she's a really bad singer. Like I don't know, people like that song. It just sounded like robotic and weird, and it was not a good song. She's not a pretty singer. And I'm like, okay, I'm listening. I'm like, why is this song on the radio? What is going on? Then I hit scan, and it went to the next radio station. You know what was playing?
Another Britney Spears song? Or the
No. Cry Me a River from Justin Timberlake. And I thought I was Bill Murray and I'd been transported back to 2003. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? Okay. Did I just go back 20 years in time? Because like both songs aren't like, would be big hits to be on the radio, right?
Yeah, especially for those two.
I think this whole thing is a concerted effort by Britney Spears publicists to, obviously, like the different stories, like the daily story of what she does and why she's covering in her memoir. That is all public relations. But I think they're going as far to infiltrate radio stations' playlists because, dude, Cry Me a River from Justin Timberlake, that's kind of a deep track, right? Especially because it's 20 years old. Like, Oops, I Did It Again. I get it because, like, it's a Britney Spears song and it's, one of her top 3 or 4 hits, right? I don't know. Is it? I would assume so. I heard it all the time 20 years ago.
She had a lot of hits, yeah. We can get my wife on the phone so she could talk to you about Britney Spears. She was a fan back in the day. I'm not in.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right. I thought it was strange. I was like, and then on top of that, the person at Starbucks was actually efficient and super nice. So I really thought that I was transplanted 20 years ago. I was like, what? Oh, the drinks were ready for me. She's like, hey, good morning. How's it going? I was like, good. How you doing? I'm just listening to Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears here, She's like, all right, cool. Have a great day. And I'm like, wait a minute. Did I just go 20 minutes in time?
What is
this? Go back to the
this?
hotel room, sit there and breathe for a second.
Oh, this is them pushing the book, Britney Spears memoir. It's a must read, says Stuart Brazel. Stewart is a woman with a man's name. Oh no, Stewart is Stewart, but now looks like a woman, but used to look like a man.
Mm-hmm.
So
like that guy that was talking about how he danced yesterday.
Woo!
With his arms up.
So it's a big marketing ploy. I don't know. You know what? I'll be honest with you. I stop and look at every Instagram photo that is shared publicly of her topless. Here's one of herself holding her like she's creating a hand bikini. You're doing research, right? But she
does know what it's all about.
Yeah, she definitely is not as cute as she used to be, and sometimes
that happens with everybody.
But every time we see her like half naked, right? Exactly, I agree. I was much cuter when I was younger, but I every video of her is like she's crazy. Like, what was the one with the knives? Like, what was that about?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. But she wants to show the real her or the real her that's trying to sell books. Is she going to make your 2025 death pool, 2024-25 death pool? If I participated in rooting for people to die.
Oh, no. You wouldn't root. You're just saying, hey, if there was money on it in Vegas, I might put
that's
20 on Britney.
Benefit for me? Yes. That's why I don't play that, because I can't bet on people dying. That's bad karma. But if I were... Yeah, I mean, she would be, I would think, a top, depending on how many rounds there are, how many participants there are in that pool. I mean,
And hopefully we're wrong, right? Hopefully she's totally sane, and this is all brilliant marketing. And she's smarter than all of us. Because we don't want to wish that on anybody.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.